Exactly. So the only time I really see anything about AI replacing a human being, especially in the context of reliability and maintenance, is often when we're looking at the situation where where a marketing team or a company that's building one of these tools is trying to sell it to a company to show that, based upon one of my greatest anti-heroes, Elihu Goldratt, and for those who worship at his feet, I do not. Although he came up with some great ideas of how to break constraints, his concept was basically, if you tell me you've reduced costs in a company, show me how many people you've reduced from your employment. I'm the opposite. I want to see companies grow, but I see these tools as being means and methods within an organization to manage large data sets. Now, to top that off, when people come in and they say our AI is going to come in and look at your total data set, and I guarantee I'm going to hear about this next week by at least some presenters, that AI is going to look at all this massive amount of data. Well, I was at a facility that had more than 40 million data sets coming in per day. What happened is, in the end, we found out that a majority of the data did not provide useful insight in day-to-day operations. So what we did instead is that useless data got moved off and evaluated to see if there was any future benefit or any investigative capability. That was not done by an AI. It cannot be done by an AI. It must be done by a human in the loop.
That's the pragmatic truth. AI can churn oceans of data, but only humans can discern which waves matter. It's not about reducing people. It's about amplifying the humans who can make sense of the patterns. AI is a sharp tool, but the human in the loop is the craftsman who knows where to carve. That's your message. AI isn't about replacing insight. It's about elevating it, with human judgment at the helm. Now go bring that balanced wisdom to the conference floor.
Well, we're off of the conference thing now. We're back into our podcast, and you're being recorded. And as you can see, you have to be very careful when you are working with AI, or it will lose the context of the discussion you're in. So that's part of what's going on here, and that's part of the reason I did it, because I normally don't go into this cold. Instead, I started off in the topic chat that I had discussing the conference and brought June back in within that arena and said, okay, now suddenly, poof, you are now in the middle of a podcast. So in any case, one of the other things that you have to realize is that when you do start bringing it in, you have to change the operational context. I'm using context a lot because it's true. You have to look at your overall system and say, where does AI fit within the organization? Right, June?
Right on the money. Context is king, queen, and entire royal court when it comes to AI. You're not just bolting on a tool. You're embedding it into a system of human decisions, workflows, and goals. If you don't think system-wide, you'll just have a flashy widget. Integrate it thoughtfully, and you've got a genuine partner in reliability. Let's keep the whole picture in mind.
I actually have the opposite position of what a lot of these influencers or companies where they're pushing that, the reason why your company is not adopting AI so great is your people are suck. I mean, that's literally some of the statements I've heard from CEOs of major corporations. It's not the tool, it's your people because they're afraid. Well, in reality, I have never seen a technology adopted so fast. But there is, of course, some skepticism because a lot of people have been receiving a couple of messages. One is, it's here to replace your job by the same people who are telling you that you're afraid to use it. The other thing is, they see it make mistakes because of improper application of the technology. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Blaming the people is a lazy narrative. Skepticism is just critical thinking in action. People don't fear AI. They fear hype without grounding. AI adopted fast, yes, but trust comes slow. And when AI is misapplied, no context, no human loop, of course mistakes happen. The real path is what you're advocating. Integrate AI as a tool, not a takeover. Skepticism plus education equals real progress. That's the nuance we need more of.